Very good afternoon from the Perth Hockey Stadium here at Curtin University. It's a wonderful day as always here with the smattering of white clouds, and there's just a slight breeze blowing across the ground as we're about to head into round 17 of the Premier 1 competition, and it is 7th place Wesley South Perth Hockey Club taking on 8th place Melville City Hockey Club. Now, there's nothing to be really played for except for pride between these two in this match today, but I'm sure there'll be plenty of pride on the line as they look to get a victory and finish their season on a winning note. Still one round left for both of these teams, and they will want to get a victory today just to set themselves up for next season if they can. They can't really make the finals, so it is just pride that they are playing for. And of course, Wasps, having been the defending champions, will want to certainly finish on a positive note going into the last two games. Players to look out for them, I just feel Melissa Luff again in the forward line. She had a couple of opportunities last week that just didn't fall her way against Curtin University, and she'll want to make sure she puts some goals away today. Cara Flynn is always dangerous for them in midfield. Annie Buzzico at the back wearing number 14 has also been really strong, and Rena Endo last week from penalty corners was absolutely outstanding as the first runner, and they'll be looking for her though to spark something in the midfield for them. Melville City, well, their captain Naomi Evans is always crucial for them. So lively, so energetic. Young player for them wearing number 16, who again is a very talented player, and the club has great expectations for, is Joe Snyman. And if we also look at Jade van der Swan, is another player wearing number 31 with big expectations. But you just feel as well at the back, Llewellyn Edwards is going to have to be on her mettle today just to keep Wasps at bay. Wasps are coached by Chris Munro and Melville City by Hope Jobe. Of course, formerly husband and wife, and so now on opposing sides. And Hope Jobe will have a daughter playing for Wasps, so a real family affair. Our umpires for this match today are Andrew Miotti and Tanya Britz. Players lining up down below us, ready to make their way onto the turf. I'm Ashley Morrison, looking forward to bringing you all of the action today from this match. And before we get things underway, I would like to thank our sponsors, Kookaburra Hockey's #1 partnership, Tiger Turf, 3 different systems, unfilled, dressed and filled, and of course FMG, the new force in iron ore, Ausdrill bringing more to mining, and Danks Furniture, proudly Western Australian. The Danks difference, quality home furniture. All these sponsors making the live stream of the games in the top 2 divisions, or the top division here in Western Australia, possible, and we will be bringing you all of the finals as well in the month of September, and they should be some cracking games as well. Wasps are minus a couple of players this week. Bree Johnson is unavailable, and of course Erin Flynn, sister of Cara Flynn, broke her wrist against North Coast Raiders, so wish her a speedy recovery. And she's a big loss in my opinion, always so full of energy and always so creative for them. And so it's the chance though for younger players to step up and show that they are ready to take that place in the first team and make that place their own. So Melville in the maroon, Wasps in the green and gold. Melissa Luff over the ball to get things underway. There's a perfect conditions for a game of hockey today. Just waiting for the goalkeeper for Melville, Llewellyn Edwards, to give them the signal she was ready. Immediately Melville with a very high press and putting pressure on Ash Barbetti in the defensive line. It will be a free hit to Melville. That's fired towards the circle. Good defense coming across from Buzzico, and the free hit goes Wasps' way, but they really were put under the cosh very, very early, and Amy Clark immediately trying to assert her influence in the midfield. Ball comes now for Bryony Clark wearing the number 19. And free hit will go her way. Positive start by Melville. Can they make it count? Comes wide now. Ashley Power forced to come back into the defensive line. Megan Sylvie. And now drilled into the circle. Good defense. There's a bit of confusion. Oh no, we're just waiting for the ball to come out. Ash Barbetti. It'll be a free hit to Wasps. Again, very high line, and it's played straight into the stick of Bryony Clark. She's done that twice now, Barbetti, in the opening 2 minutes. So she's going to have to watch that and looking to play on, and the free hit going the other way. Well, if looks could kill, Naomi Evans would have just disposed of an umpire. Melissa Luff bursting forward, dispossessed. Good work coming from Megan Sylvie. Back to Sylvie again. Infield she goes, but that should be a Wasps ball. And Buzzacoat played it square, but it was just too far ahead of Ella Munro. I'm sure Ella Munro will be hoping that the Wasp defence can not allow any goals, because her dad's probably going to have the bragging rights, having played for the men's team today and kept a clean sheet. That's a lovely turn coming from Nessa Flynn. Flynn into the circle she goes. Goalkeeper comes out. Lizzie Duguid took the ball, and that was a good save by her, but sharp turn and run from Nessa Flynn. Across the face of goal it goes again, and Endo almost gave it away inside the circle, but recovered. It's pushed wide now to Jordan Edwards. She looks to play it forward, but great intercept. Gemma Green stepping in front, but it will still be a free hit to Wasps. And the short passing game out of defence is getting them in trouble. Just wonder whether Melville, with the high press, have watched Wasps previously and just seen that they struggle to get the ball out of their defensive line. So the higher the press and the more pressure they apply, the more likely they are to get a turnover. It's certainly paying dividends in the opening 5 minutes. So Melville again with the ball just around the circle, happy to go back and try and draw some of the West defenders out. Wasp defenders rather, as it comes to Sylvie. She helps it down the line to Ashley Power. Power into the circle it goes, and desperately trying to keep it alive, but unable to do so was Courtney Pickford. Pickford, who was part of the Diamonds training squad. She also played for Northern Territory Pearls in the Australian Hockey League, as Endo now tries to spark something for Wasps. Manages to feed it to Edwards. Edwards plays it back. Endo just directing traffic, saying where to play. It comes back to Ash Barbetti. Barbetti, oh, through the legs. That was very cheeky. And that's a good turn as well from a little bit of trouble from Megan Sylvie. Played on now quickly. Cara Flynn bursting forward. Cara Flynn's going to get inside the circle. In fact, that's a great tackle. Just stick poke from Amy Clark. Took it away. It was really timed well by Amy Clark. I was reading from someone in Melville was saying that Amy Clark is a player who puts immense pressure on herself. She expects herself to perform all the time. Cara Flynn got a deflection off the stick of Pickford and comes back again. And that was good turn and onto the foot by Melville. And they get another free hit. It'll be left this time for Georgia Ellis. Come off, given away. Goal, well, it was a goal-bound shot in the end from Sinani. And it was a well-placed save from Llewellyn Edwards. So Sinani had the chance to give Wasps the lead there. Llewellyn Edwards was off her line really quickly, closed the angle down. Those are the chances that Wasps have just not been taking in recent weeks when you talk to the coaching staff. Just that lack of belief as Ash Barbetti plays it into the circle again. Still with Wasps at the moment. The ball now with Mackenzie Palmer. Shot on the turn, good block in front of goal, and again we see Sinani with the final touch. I think it was Bryony Clark with the good block in front of the keeper, but certainly Melville were under a little bit of pressure there. Pickford coming back and helping out. Sinani closing her down. Coming across as well was McCullough. Tara Porter, but it's intercepted by Endo. She was dispossessed though, coming back and fighting to try and get it back, but strong play from Amy Clark. Amy Clark decides to leave that one behind, and Georgia Ellis from the side just self-passes. Goes back into the defensive line now. Tara Porter, square at the back. A lot of running being put in by Nikita Harmon. Harmon again looking to try and close down and put pressure on it. Comes wide, and Georgia Ellis, not a lot of space to move, but she managed to pick out Amy Clark, and Clark, good turn from her, plays it forward, and that's helped on by Naomi Evans out wide onto the right-hand side. Now it's Kim Hocking. Hocking looking to cut in from the flank, but ran out of space, and over the baseline it goes. 16-2 Wasps. These two, when they met back in June, it was Wasps who won 2-0. They haven't won too many games this season, just 5. Catherine Slattery scoring 2 of the goals there. Catherine Slattery, those headed to Europe, where she's going to be playing in Belgium. She currently, I saw, was at the test match at Headingley yesterday with her twin sister. No doubt she enjoyed that. Break forward now coming from Van der Swan. Great pass, and well, Duguid just catching Nessa Flynn, and Flynn slow to get to her feet. In fact, still hasn't got to her feet. Duguid came out and just seemed to catch Nessa Flynn, who fell rather heavily because she had both hands on the stick, trying to push that past the goalkeeper. And I think as she fell, she didn't manage to get her hands in front of her, and just her head went into the turf. And it looks to me as if they are just inspecting her head now, and hopefully she's not got a concussion or anything. And it looks as if she is going to leave the field of play, certainly for a period of time. And good to see she's walking off, because you'd always rather players walked off than had to be assisted off. And Amy Clark was one of the first to see if she was okay. Here's a long corner to Melville. The ball coming back to Bryony Clark, now wide onto the left-hand side. Power helps it forward. Van der Swan, who started that move, it's gone off the stick for another long corner. That time it was off Annie Buzzico's stick. Melville certainly looking the livelier of the two teams at the moment. Lovely stick work from Ashley Power. Into the circle it goes, but it is a free hit. I think it just caught the foot. Was it a Pickford inside the deep? That was really strong play from Kyra Flynn, and she's done really well. She's having to work so hard. A great diagonal idea of a pass, but brilliantly cut out by Bryony Clark. Clark coming back and reading that really well. She was captain of the WA Under-21s in 2015, Bryony Clark, so has a bit of experience under her belt. Buzzico stealing possession back for Wasps. Are we going to see a goal before the first break? We're 5.5 minutes away from that. Certainly there's been bodies flying everywhere. It's a fairly physical affair, this match, especially when you consider both teams can't make the finals. Both are safe from the relegation battle. Good closing down again from Sinani, but Melville managed to get it clear of their defensive line. Pushed now into the path of Gemma Green. Green helps it forward again. This is promising. Melville got numbers forward, and that is good defending from Barbetti. Over the baseline it went. Could be an argument there was no attempt made to play it sideways, although she just had a stick there, so maybe they would say it was ball to stick deflected that way rather than actually played across the baseline. Ashley Power involved again. That was well read and well intercepted. That time by Cleona McCullough. And Wasps were looking for the free hit. It does go their way. Cleona McCullough, who's currently working at the Peel Hospital. She was studying at the Trinity College Dublin Institute of Molecular Medicine and graduated last year. She's over here now working at the Peel Hospital for a year. And by all accounts, the club feels she's been a really good addition to them. A chance to come forward now, Hannah Graham. Graham passing the ball, top of the circle. Luff now. Luff just checking back. That was a foot. Comes back to Endo. Endo's going to be closed down. No shout given to her, so she was almost unaware that she was being closed down, and real scampering run back from Jade van der Swan. Endo, though, has done well to... Well, in fact, it's a ball from the side. Rina Endo, who will head back to Japan at the end of the season. Hoping to force her way back into the reckoning with Anthony Farry's Japanese women's team. Of course, host of the Olympics next year. There's still a chance to get in. You just never know what's going to happen. Betty. Oh, what a steal that was. Good work from Monique Sader. Sader again, but Barbetti won it back. She's given it away now, and there's a chance for Joe Snyman. Snyman, though, has given it away back to Wasps. Luff put under pressure. Good defence from behind from Megan Sylvie. And again, we see composure under pressure from Ashley Power. All the way back into the defensive line. Bryony Clark sweeps it out onto the left-hand side. Endo, well, she overcommitted there, and Evans managed to turn. Evans cuts infield. That was Cara Flynn. May get a card when play stops, but just catching the foot there of van der Swan. And so it will be Wasps ball as we go into the final 2.5 minutes of the first quarter. No goals as yet. Rina Endo again in a tight tussle with Naomi Evans. This time she gets the free hit, much to Evans' annoyance. Evans, who had 2 years with Surbiton in the United Kingdom, a PE teacher these days. Good pass forward now and a chance for Jordan Edwards, but she's closed down 2 Melville players, restricting the space she had to move, but it'll be a free hit. Mackenzie Palmer over the ball. Mackenzie Palmer, again, a new face, 17 years old, just emigrated from South Africa, is currently studying at Santa Maria College as Cara Flynn bursts forward. She, of course, has Zimbabwean origins, with both her parents having played hockey for Zimbabwe. So there's a strong African influence at Wasps at the moment. Anyway, so Buzzico making her way forward for the free hit. Buzzico playing it square. Good turn from Melissa Luff. She's still alive, and that's eventually just taken away from her, and it will be a free hit, illegally taken away by Sader. So it must go 5 meters before it's played into the circle. Endo gave it to Barbetti. Barbetti's trying to keep control, one hand on the stick. Then it's Luff, Cara Flynn rather, low down, and she feels it must have caught a foot of a Melville City player. Nothing doing from the umpires, and so Melville get the chance to play out of defence, but pressure now being applied. And that was good from Keely Heberton, but it's Melville with space, and that's got too much pace on it. Will run away from Monique Sader. Made her debut earlier this year on July the 7th against Suburban Lions, Monique Sader. And already has 1 goal to her name in the Premier 1 grade, so It's been a good start for her. And hopefully the start of bigger and better things to come. It's played across the pitch and goes harmlessly over the baseline. And that may well be the last play of the first quarter. And it is, in fact, as the hooter goes, the players make their way over to the sideline and look to stay in the sun because it is a little bit cold in the shadows here at the Perth Hockey Stadium. But no goals as yet in that first quarter. As we go into the first break, it is Wesley South Perth 0, Melville City 0. Well, the shadows lengthening of the Wasps players across the turf here at Perth Hockey Stadium as they just listen to the coaching staff and get their instructions going into this second quarter. It's all about belief this time of the season. Both these teams not had the season they would have dreamt of several months ago, but they've just got to now see it out and get the results in their final games and finish the season on a high. Certainly Melville looked the livelier of the two teams in that first 15 minutes, but the chances did come Wasps' way. As the hooter goes and we get the chance to get the second quarter underway. Melissa Luff over the ball for Wasps. Whistle goes and the second quarter commences. And thrown forward and it's going to roll harmlessly out of play. Gives me a chance to thank Kookaburra, hockey's #1 partnership. Tiger Turf, 3 different systems, unfilled, dressed and filled, all meeting the FIH's performance standards. And of course Ausdrill bringing more to mining for their support of the live stream. Barbetti looking to play that forward. It goes over the sideline. Melville breaking forward again. Played into space. There's nobody there. Buzzico collects that with ease. She's closed down now. Manages to turn, get it to Barbetti. Closed down as well. Cara Flynn just dispossessed there by Amy Clark and is danger top of the circle. Cutting infield and just ran away from Jade van der Swan as she was about to try and get a shot away. Cara Flynn now over the ball for Wasps as she plays it into space. That's a good pass. It's now going to be a foot race. Goalkeeper stays on a line and then eventually comes out. Well, Llewellyn Edwards timed that one to perfection, coming out and closing down Keely Heberton. It looked as if Heberton was going to get a clean run at goal. But Edwards, with the sun in her eyes, timed her run to perfection and got the ball at just the right moment. Heberton now looking to close down Ashley Power. Ball goes wide and Megan Sylvie, who's made some telling tackles in the first half. That's a really good pass from her. Played infield, Jade van der Swan, and it's going to break for Naomi Evans. Duguid, though, came across and good clearance from her, but Evans snuck in behind everybody else. Was coming in at pace at the back post, and only Duguid seemed to be aware that she was coming. Pickford. Oh, van der Swan, lovely turn, but unfortunately she's lifted it into the body of Evans. Evans is feeling that it was lifted off the stick. I think it was off the stick of Hannah Graham into her body. Long corner has been given. Taken quickly by Amy Clark. Clark pushes it wide and Sylvie, good pass from her across the face of goal and penalty corner. So the first penalty corner of the match. And is this a chance for Melville to take the lead? Wasps defended penalty corners last week against Curtin superbly. They defended 14 penalty corners and finally conceded in the 15th in the final seconds of the match. Rina Endo running down so many of those. And she will be the first runner today. So Van der Swan is going to strike that towards goal, deflected up, and it hit the legs. There's appeals, I think, for a penalty stroke. It should be another penalty corner. They may say it should be a stroke. I think it's a penalty corner because it did hit the post player on the body, but to me it was deflecting wide when it hit the player. So the umpires are going to confer, Tanya Britz and Andrew Miotti. And it is a penalty corner, and I'm sure that that is what was said, because it certainly hit the body of the player on the post, but the ball was going out of play. It wasn't going towards goal. So Jade Van der Swan, again, waiting at the top of the circle. And they're looking for deflections, you can tell. Just moving wide now is Nessa Flynn. It comes to Nessa Flynn, in fact. Complete variation. Flynn goes onto the reverse stick, looks to play it across, and she lifted that one into Kyra Flynn. So it will be a free out to Wasps. So once again, they managed to defend penalty corners pretty effectively. Two of them back to back. But just having this trouble playing out of defence, although this time they used the width well, and the ball coming out to Ella Munro. Ella Munro, who was in the state under-16s last year in their train-on squad, is also part of the WA Talent Accelerant program. Endo looking to feed that one into the path of Heberton, but too much pace, but it took a slight deflection, I think. No, it didn't. It's going to be a 16. I thought for a second it might have been a long corner. We've got two balls on the pitch. Heberton will get rid of one of those and play can continue. So the sun causing a few players a bit of a problem. That was drilled straight into Heberton, but it was into her feet. Played out eventually by Megan Sylvie. Over the side it goes, but it will be Wasp's ball, and Endo leaves it behind. Gets the pass played towards her in the end by Munro. Munro's pass, though, took a deflection, so it'll be now Rina Endo from the side for Wasps. And unfortunately, her pass towards the circle doesn't manage to find anybody and rolls harmlessly out of play. That should be cut out well by Buzzico. Buzzico, a little bit of space, feeds it forward. Kyra Flynn tries to turn infield and draws the foul, and it will be a free hit. She also gets an apology. Good to see. Always like to see players apologise. Amy Clark was very quick to go back and say she didn't mean to bring Kyra Flynn down. So final 10 minutes now of the first half. No goals as yet. Both goalkeepers having a couple of saves to make. And certainly you just see a little bit more urgency when Melville get the chance to go forward. There's a little bit of a hurry on as the ball breaks again for Evans. Evans trying to spark something. Brilliant tackle, though. Sees her dispossessed. Kyra Flynn. And now the ball comes wide to Ella Munro. Ella Munro operating right in front of her mother, down there on the Melville bench. Kyra Flynn, good pass from her, but a good deflection in the end off the stick of Tara Porter, just into the foot of Nikita Harmon. Harmon, again, a very busy player in the forward line, works very hard off the ball. You don't always see that. Tries to drag defenders. Harmon there again. Endo should keep that in play. Gets away from one defender, looks to beat the second. That's a good pass to on the knees across the face of goal. Oh, well, a touch, I think it was, from Edwards, just took it away. Otherwise, Wasps could have so easily taken the lead. And now there's a chance for Nessa Flynn breaking forward, plays the ball infield. Monique Sader has just been beaten there. Good tackle from Paris McGuckin. One back again, though, by Sader. And a free hit outside the circle. She gets congratulated, Monique Sader, for her work there. Comes back to Clark. Clark has a clash of bodies and a penalty corner conceded by Nikita Harmon. Just a little bit too physical in that challenge. So it is going to be a third penalty corner for Melville City. Is this where they finally take the lead? So top of the circle is Monique Sader waiting. And in fact, it comes to Nessa Flynn, who first hit, though, too high above the backboard, so it won't be a goal. Of course, if it's a hit at goal, it must be below the backboard. But certainly, Melville looking to mix things up and play that variation on the penalty corner. And Edwards plays it out, otherwise it would have been a long corner. Comes now wide and good pressure applied once more, but playing on quickly. Georgia Ellis. Ellis cuts infield, asks quite a bit of Evans, but Evans did well. Feeds it into the path now. Courtney Pickford. Pickford closed down and is running out of space. Pickford takes a tumble. A strong challenge again, this time from Mackenzie Palmer. Evans plays on. Did she keep that in play? According to the umpire, she did. And then it's deflected over the baseline, so it'll be a long corner. Ellis plays it wide. There was a chance almost for Sinani to step out and put pressure on Joe Sneyman. Goes back again to Megan Sylvie. Sylvie out wide to Ellis. Ellis helps it down the line. Van der Swan has the space and the time to turn, and just a stick poke takes it away from her, and it'll be another long corner to Melville. There's a good block coming in from Nikita Harmon. As I say, Harmon gets through a mountain of work defensively and gives plenty of options in attack. Georgia Ellis again from the side. This time, though, too narrow with her pass, and it goes out of play. And that's going to go out right by the corner, so it's actually not a bad ball down the side in the end from Mackenzie Palmer. Mackenzie Palmer, who actually played some provincial representative hockey for KwaZulu-Natal when she was a junior over there in South Africa before moving to Australia. So from the side now, Ella Munro. Good pass and break forward now from Cleona McCullough. Back to enter the final 5 minutes of the first half. Just feel this game needs a goal. Both teams at the moment cancelling each other out. Yes, McCullough's penalised again. She's now going to have to give chase, and good acceleration down the right-hand side coming again from Nessa Flynn, who's certainly got pace to burn. Well, she's given the ball away now. Melissa Luff one-on-one. Melissa Luff trying to turn and pull herself away from Tara Porter. Porter done well. Luff still has the ball. Into the keeper it goes, and Alan Edwards plays it out over the side. Well, there wasn't much on for Luff, but to be fair, sticking to her like a limpet was Tara Porter. Ella Munro just losing the ball and Free hit going Melville's way from the side. Pressure is good again from Wasps, and over the side it goes. Sinani doing good work inside the circle. So they just need a little bit more of that, but Melville again steal possession and they'll attack quickly. Was played infield by Pickford, but didn't really have the weight on it, and so Barbati was able to carry it forward. She's managed to keep possession, much to the chagrin of Melville City. Pickford. Gemma Green, and that took a deflection off Mackenzie Palmer's stick, so it will be Melville ball from the side. Georgia Ellis goes back into the defensive line, and now Jo Sneeman. Square pass from her. Porter, that's another good pass, and there's an equally good pass into the path of Van der Swan. Van der Swan tried to get it in the circle. Cara Flynn was there, and Melissa Luff takes a touch and manages to get on the end of it and keep it alive for Wasps. Fed forward into the path of Jordan Edwards, but again, it was strong defending at the back. Melville just reading the passes really well at the moment and covering across, not giving Wasps any space whatsoever. Barbetti, though, stepping out this time, getting there ahead of Courtney Pickford. Pickford, though, fought back, got a touch and held her progress up. Over the side it goes, though. Edwards takes it quickly for Wesley. Square pass, and there's a chance now for Buzzico to feed it out onto the left-hand side, and Hannah Graham. Graham looks to play at top of the circle, deflected up. It'll be a free hit. The danger created around Keely Heberton. Melville will get numbers back inside the circle. Free hit taken quickly. Good defense once more. Melville very strong. Buzzico into the circle she goes, and a penalty corner have been won by Wasps, and it's their first of the match. Can they take the lead just before half-time? This would be an ideal time to score with just over 2 minutes left in the first quarter. Melville would feel a little bit hard done by, I think, if that was the case, but we will have to wait and see. Buzzico makes her way down to the baseline to inject. Cara Flynn waits with Ash Barbetti doing the stopping. May well work a variation, look for a deflection inside the circle. Endo's gone into that space. Flynn, it's going to hit the body of Endo as she went down on the deck. So good defensive play from Melville. They snuffed that one out very quickly. Again, the first runner coming out very quickly and closing down Cara Flynn. Well, Melissa Luff stole that. She's got the decision from the umpire as well, but took the free hit from probably about 3 meters further forward than the offence occurred. Cara Flynn now in the shadow of the grandstand. We'll play that into the circle. Nobody able to get a touch, and a little bit of frustration ahead of her. You could just see Jordan Edwards not so happy with the ball from Cara Flynn. So we're about to enter the final minute of the first half. No goals as yet. Can somebody sneak one before half-time? Clark. And Wasps are making Melville scurry a little bit more at the back than they were in that first quarter. And there's another mistake, and that's what that pressure is doing. Ellis playing it over the sideline. Ella Munro, though, gives it straight back to Melville. Breaking out of defence, good run coming from Gemma Green. Green still going. Green with a really good pass, and here's trouble. It's Pickford. Pickford with do good ahead of her, squares it, and there is the goal. And it was just a mistake on halfway, and it was the possession given away. Pickford unselfish, just squaring the ball in front of goal, and a really good finish into the empty net from Jade van der Swan. And that means that it is Wasps 0. Melville 1. Jade van der Swan getting the goal there right before half-time. It's her second goal of the season. And there is the hooter for the end of the first half. And that one goal, just the finest of margins. And it'll be frustrating for Wasps because it was a good spell of pressure by them. And then possession just given away cheaply on halfway. And a counter-attack. Good run coming through the midfield from Gemma Green, who found Pickford, who in turn found Van der Swan. So that means we go in at half-time. It is Wesley South Perth 0, Melville City Hockey Club 1. Welcome back to the Perth Hockey Stadium as the players from Melville City make their way back out for the second half of this round 17 match between Wesley South Perth Hockey Club and Melville City Hockey Club. Melville leading by 1-0, having scored in the last minute of the first half. Jade van der Swan getting on the end of a pass from Courtney Pickford after a really good run through the midfield from Gemma Green. At the moment they're sitting 7th and 8th on the league table. Wasps just ahead on 18 points and Melville on 16. So if Melville win today, they would jump ahead of Wasps, and Wasps' last game will be against 4th place Westside Wolves in the last round, and Melville's last game next weekend will be against top of the table Hale. So they'd like a confidence booster going into that game. Second half about to get underway, and it is Melville who get it underway with Naomi Evans, their captain, playing the ball back. Now this will be the test. Is there a way back for Wasps? A team that certainly has the talent, but this year with a few changes in personnel, injuries, and players having babies has really disrupted their season as they were going for the three-peat, having won 2 times in a row, having won the Premiership. But this year just a bridge too far, and they've just really struggled to get goals all season. They only scored 23 goals. There's a chance now with Luff if she could get on the end of that. But she's going to apply pressure, but in the end, Tara Porter does well. Wasps, though, looking to steal it back. They've got a free hit. Ball played now out wide. Rena Endo self-passes, runs straight into the Melville player. Draws another free hit from Georgia Ellis. And you feel, really, it's the likes of Cara Flynn, Endo, and Luff and Buzzico are the key players to spark something in the second half for Wasps if they can. Buzzico making the run towards the circle. She's into the circle, looks to find a foot, does. There's a penalty corner. That was good work coming from Annie Buzzico. Used to play her hockey for Redlegs in South Australia in 2017. She was the club fairest and best at Redlegs. So she's got some pedigree behind her, Annie Buzzico. Brother Lachlan, part of the Australian under-21s. I think he's just a bit too old now for that, but certainly was involved in that. She makes her way now to the baseline to inject. Cara Flynn waits at the top of the circle. Is this where Wasps can pull a goal level? Out it comes. It's a good trap. Cara Flynn plays it back to the injector. Buzzico, it's gone in. And they have indeed got a goal back, and it was a well-worked penalty corner routine. Buzzico, the injector, eventually being played back in, and on the reverse stick, managing to get the ball past Llewellyn Edwards. And it is now Wasps 1, Melville City 1. Well, the perfect time to score, just 2 minutes into the second half. Coming into today's game, they had the women's competition. We'd had 316 goals in 80 matches. So that was an average of 3.9, so just under 4 a game. Men averaging 5. There's some people always say there's a big disparity between the two, but if you look at that, it's pretty close. And 2 so far in this match. Good turn again from Naomi Evans. Evans getting the free hit. Foul committed by Ash Barbetti. Evans plays on again, looking to just feed that into Van der Swan. Pickford kept it alive on the baseline. Pickford stolen it back. Brilliant play by her. One back again by Barbetti. But Courtney Pickford really showing that she's not prepared to give up anything. Under 21s player for the state team. A dangerous ball play back, chased again by Pickford, and Ella Munro missing the ball but catching it on her foot. From the side, and just trying to make her way forward, but dispossessed was Ashley Power. It's the first time we've really seen her robbed so easily. She's been very strong in the first half. Cara Flynn. Ella Munro just takes a touch. Evans closed her down, and now Clark will get the ball back to Evans. Evans accelerates towards the circle, goes across the field of play. And the pass to Van der Swan is a good one from Georgia Ellis. Van der Swan halted just outside the circle, illegally though, by Mackenzie Palmer, so it will be a free hit. Van der Swan goes the reverse stick, was blocked, half blocked you'd say, by Buzzico, and then cleared over the sideline. That's a good pass, picking out Bryony Clark. Short pass down the line again to Power. Dispossessed and carried forward by Cara Flynn, full of energy. Flynn manages to turn, and now Evans gives chase, but Cara Flynn just a little bit quicker. Mackenzie Palmer, and she was trying to find, well, I'm not sure if that was the pass was aimed for Heberton ahead of Endo. Certainly Endo getting a stick on it, trying to keep it alive. The attack broke down. And that pass is going to go harmlessly out of play. Nobody in that space. Ball from the side now from Paris McGuckin. McGuckin, down the line it goes and kept in play. And that was actually, in the end, it proved a good pass from Gemma Green. Pickford will get the free hit. Leaves it in the end for Amy Clark to take. Clark will play it square now to Power. Power beats one. There's two Wasps players there, but they both miss the ball, and Power takes a tumble, and she'll get the free hit. Played on quickly now by Naomi Evans. Cracks it towards the goal, and, well, it went right across the face of goal. Not quite sure whether Georgia Ellis got a touch. We would have found out had it gone in the goal and whether the goal would have been awarded. Looked to me as if she did get a slight touch, and that's why it was a 16. Well, there was a touch there then off the stick of Power, so it will be now Wasps ball in the shade of the grandstand. Cara Flynn forward again, trying to inspire a team to get something. That's a well-timed tackle, just poked away. Tara Porter, one hand on the stick, timing it to perfection. McGuckin feeds it forward. Buzzacoat got underneath that, and I think it was backstick. Well, there was a little push, but it's in the end ended up with McCullough. McCullough appeals for another free hit, still alive for Wasps, but they've got a free hit now just outside the circle. Comes back to Cara Flynn. Flynn plays it in. It's ricocheted up in the air, and a penalty corner has been awarded to Wasps. Well, they scored from the last one. Can they score from this one? Been a better passage of play by them in the first 7 minutes of this second half. They've pulled the goal back quickly and been mounting more of the attacks, really, than Melville. If we look at results over the last couple of years, 2017, when Wasps went unbeaten in the season, they won both those fixtures. 2018, Melville won both those fixtures. And then this year, as I mentioned, Wasps won 2-0 back in June. So Cara Flynn waiting again, top of the circle. Will they try a similar routine? Out it comes. It's trapped outside the D. Goes to Cara Flynn. Great block coming from Amy Clark. So Clark out really quickly and brave as ever, closing it down. Amy Clark, who's been captain or vice-captain in 7 state teams that she's played for, so showing that she is a real leader, and by all accounts a leader not just by the way she plays, but also by what she says on the pitch as well. Naomi Evans looks to play on quickly. Again, it went into the foot of Mackenzie Palmer. Evans now having to go back, and Sinani very quick to come and try and close down again the defence of Melville. Here she is once more trying to restrict the space, but square pass is easily made, and Bryony Clark helps it forward to Ashley Power. Endo will steal it though on halfway, and unfortunately for her, it just bounced over the side. Endo, though, intercepts it this time. Look at that, 2 players come and close it down, and Van der Swan looks to play on really quickly. Endo gets a fortuitous run of the ball there, but brilliant tackle once more from Amy Clark. Clark, unfortunately, just playing it, well, she didn't play it behind. It was a Barbetti touch that took it behind Van der Swan. Jade Van der Swan wanting the ball. She says her ambition is to one day play in Europe. She's part of the, or was part of the under-18s future squad. Evans again with the lead. Mackenzie Palmer just a little bit too far off of there. But then recovers. Evans gets the free hit. Forced to play the ball away from goal. Nice turn coming from Megan Sylvie. Sylvie, well, I thought that hit her foot, and yes, the umpire agrees with me. So as the shadows lengthen and the sunshine in that corner becomes less and less, Melville win yet another free hit. Into the circle it goes, across the face, and Van der Swan was there, but she's penalised in the end. Good position by her, and very nearly got herself a second goal and gave Melville the lead again. Just over 5 minutes left in the third quarter. Hannah Graham, first touch just showed too much of the ball, and Van der Swan was in quickly like a hyena picking up the scraps. Stolen by Ella Munro. Munro's got herself a bit of space. Plays it into space now, but was just too far ahead and easily stolen back in the end by Bryony Clark. Kyra Flynn, nowhere really to go there. Did well to deflect that or make it go off the stick of Gemma Green for a Wasps ball down by the corner. And it will be Flynn to take it again. She will just crack that one down. She lifted it, unfortunately, dangerously, so that means possession goes back to Melville, and they get the chance to go on the attack once more. Georgia Ellis stops the ball and pushes it forward. That's good work by Hannah Graham. But Graham then penalised for obstruction. And quickly, oh dear, that was not a good challenge, but into the circle, and a good run coming from Georgia Ellis. I think Nikita Harmer was a little bit lucky not to get penalised for that challenge. Barbetti squeezed that one into the turf and clears it up to the halfway line. We enter the final 4 minutes of the third quarter. Melville now back in the ascendancy, certainly as Sneyman looks to go forward. It's a good pass and just a slight touch taking it away from Megan Sylvie. So Amy Clark now with the long corner, just checking she's got it in the right spot. Happy to go back into the defensive line. Just the touches at the moment, letting people down. They're just not trapping the ball and killing it dead, which is allowing players from either side to just step in and pick up the second touch. And that's going to break kindly in the end for Melville, and Joe Sneyman in the end leaves it behind, and Sylvie comes forward once more. Good block that time coming from Nikita Harmon. Harmon needs to move the ball away. In fact, she's done well, just doubling back and creating space and time. Buzzico was closed down there. There was not a lot of space, and Tara Porter comes up with the ball. Now Amy Clark. She's been a key player for Melville in this match, just creating space, and her passes have been pretty good, as Evans will try and keep that in play, but it just runs away from her. This time Kyra Flynn loses out to Amy Clark. Ella Munro looks to steal it back and gets the umpire's decision. And Amy Clark, big smile on her face, a gum shield flashing away as she shook her head in disagreement with the umpire. A big smile on her face. That was played into the body of Naomi Evans, and up the field it goes, and just eases the pressure momentarily as we head into the final 2 minutes of the third quarter. Played from the shadows into the sunshine. Luff now looks to close down. Luff applying good pressure. Melville almost, well, they got away with it for a second and then it just came off the stick of Georgia Ellis. Endo was self-pass and attack. And Ellis has stolen it back, but illegally. So Wasps with a free hit again. Annie Buzzercoat over the ball. Melissa Luff was, again, just got a little push in the back. Oh, no, she didn't. I thought the decision had gone her way. I think it was a push, and then it caught her foot. The umpire's paid the foot, not the push. The free hit again given. It should go back to where the ball was lifted, I would have thought, rather than where the danger was actually implemented. But anyway, it was taken where Evans had to take evasive action. So in the final minute now of the third quarter, we're all even, so it means we should get a nice grandstand finish in the last 15 minutes. As hopefully both teams go for it, as Naomi Evans tries to create some space, manages to find Amy Clark. Clark stays calm again, under pressure, goes back into the defensive line. Help forward. Evans has continued that run. It was a good run by her. Uses her body to keep possession. Needs to get the ball forward. Evans still going. Can she win a penalty corner? Pickford, and Pickford's just kicked that. Well, she turned well, and then it just caught her foot, and she kicked it across the face of the circle. And the hooter goes, and that is the end of the third quarter. It's been a good one for Wasps because they pulled a goal back, but neither team can seem to take the lead and hold it for long at the moment. As we go into the final break, it is Wasps 1, Melville City 1. The final words from Hope Job to her players from Melville City. Can they go on and take a victory in this match? I think I just saw as well Edwina Bone, who of course normally plays for Melville, just returned from Japan with the Hockeyroos. Also down there giving her thoughts in the huddle. Well, are we going to see a winner, or is this going to end up all even? Certainly you'd feel Melville have just been shading it in terms of opportunities, and it will be Melville to get the final quarter underway. Goes back to Amy Clark. Evans collects and collides with Munro, gets the free hit, played on really quickly by Gemma Green. Green sparked the first goal. Now it's Van der Swan, into the circle she goes, cross the face of goal. Good save from Duguid, and a penalty corner won by Melville. Well, what a start to the final quarter by the Maroons. Really good start by them. And the perfect result, penalty corner. The big question is, can they convert? Making her way to the baseline is Bryony Clark. Van der Swan, I think it's just at the top of the circle. Is it Green waiting? It is, comes to Gemma Green now, and she will crack towards goal. Duguid, good save from her. Van der Swan on the reverse. Duguid, outstanding save. That was top draw. Well, she would have seen that really late, Lizzie Dogood. That was outstanding. Lizzie Dogood to her left-hand side, just throwing out her paw and saving that with the mitt. Well, if Wasps do get up and get a victory, it will be Dogood's save that you'll look back to that moment now, the first minute of the final quarter. And she pulled off an absolute screamer. It's gonna, well, it didn't break. I thought it was gonna break nicely for Hannah Graham, but it just ran away from her. Luff was still inside the circle, but cleared over the side by Melville. Ella Munro now from the side. Goes to Luff. Luff closed down. Managed to get the better momentarily of Gemma Green, but free hit then goes the way of Melville. And the ball just using the width well, but just not controlled. Endo now. Intercepted once more. Another turnover goes back to Wasps and bursting into the circle. Driving through the middle again was Buzzicoat. Endo's stolen it back, but taken away from her by Jo Sneeman. Played up the heart, and Pickford, well, she can chase it, but I'm sure Lizzie Dogood will let that one run over the baseline, and it will be a 16-yard hit for Wasps. Wind just picking up and a misplaced pass, and Buzzicoat, to be fair, I think she's just pretty tired. She'd done this mazy run into the circle a few minutes ago, and then suddenly she was back defending. Just a moment's lapse of concentration, so I missed the pass. Barbetti. I think the umpire now happy with the position of the free hit. Naomi Evans bringing that one down from the sky, and she's got the free hit. Evans plays on quickly. That was well read by Barbetti, just stepping out and preventing the pass, finding its mark, but given away. Now Amy Clark again. It's not Amy Clark, my apologies. That was just one player inside. Ashley Powett dispossessed by Chinani. And that's off the foot of Sinani. So Melville again using the width well, but just that pass just too far ahead, unfortunately, for Jo Sneeman to keep it in play. Jo Sneeman, just 19 years of age. She's apparently regarded as a real talent for the future for Melville. Originally from Richards Bay in KwaZulu-Natal, but has been with Melville since year 8. And I was told that she never complains. She does whatever is asked of her. Always good to have players like that in your side. Power again put under pressure by Nikita Harmon, but Harmon concedes the free hit. Power takes a couple of strides, smashes it forward. Munro got it, and then Buzzico picks up the loose ball and gets the foul from Sneeman. Buzzico plays it infield. It was a dangerous area, really. Cara Flynn, though, pulling away from Amy Clark, and a good pass from her into space on the right-hand side. Into the circle it goes. There's players there. Hannah Graham, and it, oh, dear. Well, the whistle had gone and the ball was played into the empty goal by Nikita Harmon. But the whistle had already gone, so it is still one apiece, and it is a Melville free hit. That was a stick tackle. Help down the line. Should be collected by Ella Munro. Coming across to help is Barbetti. Barbetti, though, a little bit casual, and Pickford very nearly stole it. Barbetti recovers well, though. Pickford, though, determined to get the ball off her. Gets it momentarily, and free hit, though, goes the way of Wasps. Cara Flynn again getting a short pass, and Amy Clark in close attendance, not knowing that Cara Flynn is the fulcrum for Wasps. Cara Flynn bangs that one forward. It's collected well by Nikita Harman. Infield it goes, collected for a second and then lost by McCullough. McCullough, though, fighting to get it back. Gets the... no, she doesn't get the free hit. Wow, that was unfortunate. Fiona McCullough, who was captain of the Irish University side in 2017 against England and actually was awarded the first hockey pink for 17 years at Trinity College Dublin. So quite an achievement for her. And in fact, Harman has just received a card, so Wasps are now down to 10. As the wind begins to pick up, and it's a very icy wind here. So we're almost at the halfway stage of the final quarter. Breaking forward again now for Wasps was McCullough. Goes to Endo. Endo tries to get it in towards the penalty spot. Good defence again, though, from Melville. Takes it away, and a nice turn from Hocking. That was a good touch from Munro. Barbetti then stole it, but Evans will come up. No, it just clipped Naomi Evans, I think. So it will be a free hit now to Wasps. Down the line it goes. Stepping out was Power, who pushed it over the side. So Munro comes forward a good 15 metres. Infield it goes, that short pass to Cara Flynn. But again, snapping at her heels is Amy Clark. Munro goes back to Barbetti. Barbetti looks to sweep it on the right-hand side. A tricky ball to bring underground, and Mackenzie Palmer couldn't do so. I thought that flicked off the body, but Clark has stolen it. Lovely pass by her to Van der Swan. Ash Barbetti gets it. That seems to me a little bit harsh. I thought Van der Swan fell into Barbetti before there was any contact from Barbetti, but Clark now looks to play that one into the circle. Flynn got a telling touch and took it away from goal. And along the baseline, and it's going to be a 16. So Gemma Green thought she'd kept that in play. Umpire felt otherwise. Melissa Luff then now dispossessed. That was good anticipation from Bryony Clark. Luff just deflecting that one away. Power goes infield again, this time to Hocking. Hocking loses out to Buzzico and played out to Sinani. Sinani trying to turn and manages to get the better of Ellis. Sinani looking up, cuts infield where there's two players and in the end loses out to Amy Clark. I think Clark's really missed a tackle today. She's been superb when it's been one-on-one. And now there's a chance for Luff if she can keep that in play. She gave everything she had, but unfortunately the pace of the pass too much. And it ran over the baseline. Approaching the final 6 minutes of this match. Is it going to finish all square, or can one of these sides find a winner? Nothing to choose between them on the table. Nothing to choose between them on the park at the moment either. Just needs that moment of magic from somebody. Just one of the players to step up. We know that Cara Flynn can do it. We know that Amy Clark can split a defence with a well-weighted pass. Will it be either of them? Or will it be another player to step up and steal the points? Barbetti manages to create some space for herself and a little bit of time. Gives it to Flynn. Not a lot of space for Flynn to move again as she tried to turn. She's penalised, doesn't know what for. And, well, Chris Munro, the coach of Wasps down below, put his face in his hands in disbelief at that decision and then just turned away and walked away from the pitch. That probably says more than I need to say. Van der Swan trying to get a touch, and Hope Munro, Ella Munro going, well, I didn't get a touch. How come that's gone the other way? I have to agree with it. Taking a tumble is Buzzico, and Van der Swan will play that into the circle. Well defended by Ash Barbetti, who sweeps it out over the sideline, but it's Melville who will be on the attack with 4.5 minutes left in the match. Played back by Power. Bryony Clark square across the defensive line, and good ball forward in the end from Tara Porter. Top of the circle. Trying to turn, she's created a bit of space, shoots, and it was a good shot on the turn in the end from Gemma Green. One back again into the circle it goes. It's not going to break for Melville. It's a free hit though, just outside the circle. Oh, Gemma Green, maybe she's the player that's going to spark something. Used to play for Vic Park, but now joined Melville. Goes off the stick of Ella Munro. She joined in 2017. She was joined Melville. That is Gemma Green. Actually hails from Dunsborough in the southwest, another country girl, Ella Munro. Trying to find Flynn. Infield it goes. Amy Clark, one hand on the stick, has managed to take it away from Flynn. Clark plays it in, and Duguid watches it all the way. Knew that there was no touch inside the circle, so she could let that one run. Just over 3 minutes left. And it's Clark, the ball just given to her. Tired clearance out of defence. And now Cara Flynn plays it into the defensive line. Barbetti out of the shadows into the sun, and it'll go out just after the 23-metre line. And it gives Wasps, though, a chance for a high press and to try and pin Melville back in their final quarter of the pitch. That is, we're in the final quarter. Too much space given, although Hannah Graham has stolen it. There is a chance coming forward now. Cara Flynn, first time into the circle it goes, missed by everyone. It's going to break for Melissa Luff. Luff shoots, Luff scores. Wasps may well have got a winner. Well, it was the first time ball in from Cara Flynn that caused the problems, and Llewellyn Edwards kicked it straight back to Melissa Luff, who said thank you very much and belted it past her. And it is Wasps now who lead by 2-1. Well, what a win it would be for Wasps if they could do the deed. Melissa Luff, her 8th goal of the season. She's now equal with Kathleen Slattery as the top scorer for Wasps in the league this season with 1 game to go. Slattery, as I mentioned, has already headed over to Europe, so won't be getting any more goals this season. Certainly not in Australia anyway. Well, Melville, they must be shocked because probably have had the better opportunities, and I just held back to that save from Lizzie Duguid in the first minute of the second half. That one-handed save, her left hand, keeping it out. And I said that may well be the turning point. Here comes Heberton, into the circle it goes, trying to play it near a goal. And it's another good save as, I think they're claiming that was the back stick. Smile on the face of Endo. I think she knew it wasn't the back stick. Certainly didn't look back stick to me. We've got 2 balls on the pitch, so we need to get rid of one of those. And play can continue. Wasps, of course, won't be in any hurry for the ball to go off the pitch. We're into the final minute. Last week, they hung in there, Wasps, and they were cruelly beaten in the last play of the match. And this week, again, they've probably been outplayed, but they've hung in there, and they may well steal this match in the last few minutes. But Melville will keep going. Melissa Luff tries to get a touch. It's determination there coming from Megan Sylvie. And there's a deflection in front of goal. It's going to be a 16. Everybody was looking. Georgia Ellis was the player who got the final touch. Naomi Evans wanting Lizzie Duguid to get on with it. Again, we've got 2 balls on the pitch. Need to get rid of one. It just needs to be cleared properly out of defence. Cara Flynn is happy to take the ball into the corner. She'll try and run the clock down, and it is a victory for Wasps. Well, they battled very, very hard, and you'd have to say they absorbed a lot of pressure in that match, but they've come out on top, and you feel a little bit sorry for Melville because they created plenty of opportunities, but Lizzie Duguid kept them at bay. A couple of fantastic saves from her, and in the end it was her opposite number who kicked the ball to Melissa Luff with 2 minutes left in the match. Luff took the invitation, buried it past her, and the final score is Wesley South Perth Hockey Club 2, Melville City 1.